Hello everybody, my name is Elenator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 410. We're on 1.14.4 pre-release 6 and we still have one more on Monday. I told you we were gonna be in these pre-releases all week long. 1.14.4 had 7 of them. And so we're almost done. You know what else we're almost done with? I'm almost done working on the damn power control module, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Whatever station it is that controls each of the individual, almost said gateways, each of the individual outputs. Anyways, regardless, not important. So, what is important is trying to figure out how I'm supposed to pull all 4 of those signals into one vertical bar. Howdy, howdy, Alexander the Craft, welcome back. Yeah, I need to get each of these 4 signals, and I have to get them over here. In fact, I have to get them up there. YouTube will not stop you from watching this. Why would YouTube be trying to stop you? And yes, howdy, welcome back. The thing is, there's just barely any space right here. I look around and I think, how to take care of this. So here's what we're gonna do real fast. We're going to compare the outer wall to the floor, because if this is indeed the top grass, surface grass, we're going to figure this out. This is indeed top surface grass, because it's the 4 cobblestone plus this. And I've got 2 blocks. I could dig out 2 blocks this way before I hit the wall, unless if I really were to just extend out here. Because I'm probably thinking of doing that. Howdy Minty, welcome back. Your favorite YouTuber is indeed streaming. Because I can go forward from this block. Why is that 3 and not 2? Oh, it's the wall plus 2. I see. So if I really wanted, I could dig this up. That'll give me 3. In fact, I could also dig this up real fast. Get a refund ever so slightly. So what I'm probably going to do is try to see if I can get all 4 of those signals running back here. I really don't need to pull off from this direction. I could get them from earlier. Because right around here, we have 3 of the signals. There's 1, 2, and 3. Right here, number 4. 4 would be the hard one to acquire. But equally so, the signal is right here. Alright, so you know what time it is. Time to see what I'm going to do up front, because I realize this is a wall. This wall cannot move unless if I go outside. So what we're going to do first is dig up all of that and see if I can pull the signals from down there and steal real estate up here. So, one thing at a time. Step 1, forward march, said the elves from Polar Express. I quote stuff so frequently. Alright. Google Home plays music, and guess what it plays? American Pie. Hey, it's a great song. I'll always appreciate it. Of course, if you're gonna listen to it, you gotta listen to the full thing. You need the full experience, like New Year's Day, and Blinded by the Light, and... Oops, that's a hole in the wall. What other lengthy songs are there? I don't know. A song that never ends? It's not that bad. It's only 7 or 8 minutes. It's the combination of 2 songs put together. Oh, you know, here, I'll stand on this first, and then I'll get rid of it. So if I really, really want it, I could just create a slope on the outside. That will allow me to get rid of this wall, but we're gonna see if I can bring any of these first. Yes, but no, it's too long. It's not too long. If the song is well put together, I don't think it can be too long. Can't say Long Haul to the Farlands is well put together, but it was designed very intentionally. Oh wait, I can get rid of this as well. I might have an interest in music taste. The thing with me is, I like a lot of songs. I'm not a big artist person or band. Not really genre either. Okay, so I can't dig that, but I can dig these. That opened up a little more space. Oh, in fact, I think I could also say hippity hoppity. This space is now my property. See, now you have an association with that song. Music has power, I once said before, because it makes you create associations. Oop, hold on. I do not have an easy way to get around here anymore. Alright, so I carved out as much space as I wanted without fully bringing everything in. So I'm thinking I might just say farewell to this wall and push it back all the way to be flush with this one. That'll get me another 4 block space. Or 5, I guess, because it's wall plus 4. And then that becomes a new wall, but I just need to figure out how do I want to design the front side. I could just say, I don't know, and not think about that. So instead, how about I put down a torch as darkness approaches? Then we'll go outside and probably just start moving the wall or something. One thing I need to do though is I might have to figure out where the floor is. Because if I can at least have a platform, I feel that would be useful. Alright, so right around here, it's like, oh, what are you doing? So it's like, huzzah, peekaboo. I don't know what I'll put down here, but maybe I'll disguise it as another building. If I'm lucky, I don't have to go all the way up. But seeing as I plan on putting all 4 of the thingies right there, I don't know if I'm going to get away with that. So, let's first open this up as much as we can. We'll go from there. And then one more. You know Moss, said the Juicy Drop Pop commercials. I could, if I really wanted, I could just build a glass box, so that way everyone who's around here gets to look in and see the atrocious redstone I've done inside. Howdy howdy, thanks even if you're keeping the stream on in the background. Yeah, it would be kind of funny if I had a glass front, and it's like a display case, how not to do redstone. And I think I am indeed going to dig up the floor here. I was hoping to keep it, but I'm realizing I need the space. Truth be told, it probably wouldn't be so bad to build some sort of facade around here. Because I really do like the vertical cliff here. It's tall enough to where I can do something with it as a vertical face, but it's not absurdly tall. And it's also not too short that I can't get much farther than a basic staircase. So I think having it be the 6 or 7 blocks it is a pretty good size. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're gonna see just how much stone I currently... Look up! Leave me alone. We're gonna see just how much stone I currently have. Not all too much, because I'm thinking of putting some of it back, but I realize that might not need to be the case just yet. Maybe here's what I'll do. Leave this dirt behind since I don't need it. There we go. That makes more sense because keep the coal and iron together. Not important. So I'll also leave some of the redstone and then probably another couple stacks of that. We're going to put away a bunch of these repeaters and torches and come back here with some lamps. I don't know how many I'll need, but I'll probably start out with... Oh, you know what? I don't even have lights. I still don't even have powered lights for the building itself. What I might just do is make another stack, which means I'm going to have to make another 4 stacks of... Or I'll need to get another 4 stacks of dust, so just kidding, Red Dust, I need you. Like Mr. Smith. Alright, yeah, time to get the goods. I'll just make another stack of lamps because I'm pretty sure I'm really low. I had maybe 1 or 2 left. Probably no more than 3. No way, I put logs in here? Oh, good job, me of the past. This is such a cool tunnel. It's not really a tunnel, it's a bridge. But once you're inside, it feels like a tunnel. With the cobblestone walls and the log support beams. Anyways, not important. Back to work. Well, we're not really working, we're traveling. Pretty sure there's a tax exemption or something when it comes to traveling miles for work. It finally ended. See, that wasn't so bad. You know what I'm gonna do now one of these days? I don't know when, but you know what I'm gonna do? There will be a day where we sit and listen to one song, just a single song, from a CD I acquired. One single song. Said single song runs for over 25 minutes. That's a lot of repeaters, I'll tell you that. What do you mean, no? It'll be great. Do you know how much stuff you could do in 25 minutes while you listen to it? Well, if you only listen to it, then you're only going to do one thing, and that's listen. Alright, so I needed glowstone to create more lamps. Lag spike. You can't do anything besides listen? Hold on, is that like the way you think? And when you're listening to music, you really cannot do other stuff? There you go. We're just going to steal all these lamps, even though I'm probably going to need more. Let me also just grab the stack of ore, because this is probably what it's going to do. We're going to need more. You have to listen so that you know, paying attention. Okay. We'll get there one day. Have patience, young one, says... You know, I don't know where I got that from. Howdy, Vin, welcome back. I feel like someone said that line before. Howdy, Paul, as well. Did YouTube finally push out the notification? kind of funny, for as much as it gets me the emails that I'm live rather fast. Wonder why it doesn't send out the notifications equally as fast. It used to be a problem in the past. I don't know if YouTube's doing better. But I remember someone one day coming on an hour later saying, "Oh hey, I just got the notification." And I thought to myself, is YouTube that bad? This was a couple years ago, 21 or 22. So I don't know what's like these days. But I still remember that. Alright, so here's what I gotta do. The colorful sign. Oh, you haven't seen it yet? I finished the Zeleneko sign a little bit ago. I've been working on all this redstone. I'm trying to think how to get these 4 distinct signals to where they need to be. And I'm contemplating using a bunch of torches to just increase the vertical range. Because I don't know if I could fit 4 staircases right next to each other. But one thing's for sure, it would be very cool if I could have the power meter exist. I don't know. I want it to be right back here, but there's not much space. So even if I had 2 blocks, that would put it right here. Oh, you know what? I just realized. If it really is 4 blocks, that's not much space. Because I have to power all this. Howdy, howdy, welcome back. I did consider moving this all the way to the corner. I don't know what I'll put here in the middle, but I am thinking of moving it all the way to the corner instead. I feel like that's just going to work better with the absolute minimal space I have. Looking back, I should have done this more than just 2 blocks in the back, and what I might end up doing is moving it over by 1. So that way, or 2, I could do that, as long as I'm not right at the edge though. I just chose 3 blocks so that way I could use the space down there. Ended up not happening. Of course, if I really, really wanted, I could move this front wall this way. And then that way this wall can also be moved forward a little bit. But too late, because I've already decided based on the dimensions of this building. Alright, let me grab the dust. TV channel logos in GIMP for a project. You having fun? Having fun making logos? Graphics design is rather cool. I just don't do it all that often because I'm terrible at advertisements, including advertisements for my own stuff. Right, so step 1, we're gonna get these here. So the question is, how to power each of those lamps? You have an art project due? Sad times. Unless you like doing art and then have fun. Wow, it's so much more open now. Having this massive wall just poof out of existence. You like doing art when it's not due. Didn't I say recently there's psychology behind you have more fun doing something when it's not expected. Alright, let me think. So what I'll probably do is try to get 1 signal at a time. I have 4 blocks here. Alright, we'll just start with the first one. Signal number 4 is over here, so if I could just bring this one upward. Oopsies, that's not what I want. There we go. Alright, so I feel like the bottom lamp would be easiest to take care of, because all I need to do is... Oh, is that gonna work? This will work if I could get... This is hard. Just kidding, maybe this is not gonna be so easy. Because I have to get this block powered if I'm gonna have a torch there. because the torch will power that block, which will power this, and so on. Because otherwise, I would have to do something like that. I'd have to power that block. But then how am I going to power the lamp next to it? I'm thinking. That was me tapping my desk. Didn't help me think. But imagine that's like a fax machine. You're sending the data over. Imagine the data within my brain being sent over from one part to the other. So, what we could do is, in the event that I were to have a torch down here. Oh, wait, hold on. I still don't even have that block. Yeah, if I could do that torch there, only the bottom one is powered, I think. I need to verify that only the bottom one is powered, because I'm powering the block, not the lamp. There we go. So that one's supposed to be for level 1, right? And so if I want to power the next lamp, I would need level 2. Which would work if, well, I could say I need to power 1 and 2, and the way to do that is by having a repeater here, because I cannot particularly put it forward. So if I put that repeater there, then what I can do is have another torch there. I'm not too concerned about all of these being powered right now. I can negate them if I need to. I don't currently have a way to get up there, though. Hopefully I don't mess up any redstone by placing unnecessary blocks. So if I power that, what that does is now it powers, or I should say the repeater powers the block behind the lamp. And so therefore that lamp should be powered. Famous last words. Should. So now we should be at level 2. So I could always power lamps below. That's not powered. What? Hold on, you're telling me. Okay, I did something wrong then, because this is the same logic. The repeater's supposed to be on powering the block, which powers the lamp. So the question is, why is the lamp not on? Where did I done goof? I see the torch is on. Torch is powering the repeater. Oh, I see. Because the one I'm currently powered is the first one. Alright, so what I need to do is instead power this one. And so this can be moved. Oopsies. All of that can be moved over because it can go up a block. Except that torch. Keep that torch there. So we're going to try to have as much space on the bottom as we can. So now what I need to do, put that repeater there. Get rid of that, put a torch, except I don't know if that torch is on the floor or the side. I need it on the floor. You know what I should have done? I probably should have built the redstone first and then built the box. I was right, it was on the side. Alright, there we go. So now, boom, there's 2. I have 2 torches. The torch down there and the torch down here. Here's the problem though, we're already halfway out of space. That is a problem. So, to prevent such an occurrence, I have no idea how I'm going to power the one up here, but I already know I'm going to have to extend the roof by a lot. I'm just might be able to squeeze on by putting a line of torches somewhere. Or if I really need, I could just bump this wall backward by a couple blocks and then like split it. Because that's probably what's going to end up happening. In fact, I'll just do that now. So this wall, if need be, can be scooted back 2 blocks. So that will grant me just a little bit extra space to make sure that the lights here can be fully powered. So let me just build my extra wall. So what this means as well is that I can dig up these 2 blocks, I think. Yes, I can dig up these 2. You know, here, we'll move that one over. I didn't pick up any of that dirt. Oops. Am I supposed to know what a theme C is? Is it like theme A, theme B, theme C, where it's a third primary theme? Alright, let me plop that back where it belongs. Alright, so next is taking advantage of this space now that it's acquired. Let me just finish up the wall real quick. So we're at 2. We're halfway there, said Bon Jovi. Let me just heal up real fast. There you go. Spend that saturation. Alright, what we're also going to do is probably increase this by 1 additional block. No, maybe not. I'm still unsure as to where I'm going to have the roof portion be. Because I'm still going to need lamps in the ceiling to light up the inside. Not yet sure how I'll do that, but it's probably going to be a double floored system. I should say a double roof system. Anyways, not important. So now, with all of that being taken care of, what I can do is something like this. So with that bottom one taken care of, I'm thinking, is that with that block there, which means there's going to have to be a block in front of all of these, essentially. So now I can, oops. Put that one there, which means this repeater just has to be powered. So we're probably going to do that. So then that way, hold on, let me just put a torch, simulate its receiving power. So now we're at 3, which means I just have to light this one up in any way I can. So to do that, what I'll do is, in fact, you know what, here, keep that torch. We'll see if we make that vertical. So all I have to do is just get a signal there. What? But it's a dot. It's not the cross. How's that, not important? But anyways, since everything below this is going to be powered, I just have to make sure that this signal, oh boy, I can get rid of that. Block, nope. Block, then torch. Yes. Music terminology. I'm gonna trust you on that, as I'm not at all familiar with music theory. And I think now I have my 4 different systems. 1, torch 4, 3, 2, and 1, which means now I just have to hook up each of the individual wires. I feel like I should start top down. maybe what I'll do is, if this just has to be powered in any way, I'll probably run a signal from there and see if I can find a vertical space next to it. Because in that torch down there, I'll also figure something out, but that can wait. That one's 2, I believe. So if I could run this one maybe all the way to this back corner, that's what I'll end up doing. Like if I just put a block there, torch. Yeah, I could do this. I could do that as long as I... Oh wait, but if I end up having torches right next to each other, oh, that's okay, because the torch power will only go straight up. You have a problem? Is it a problem I'm able to assist with? Otherwise, I may or may not have advice. I might have advice if I know. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee advice can be given. There we go. Alright, so I'm kind of thinking of having temporary staircase right here. So I know this one works, so I'll just boop, boop, boop. Most I could tell you is be responsible. Oh, so you have a problem, not there is a problem you are facing. AirPods died and you can't remember where you left the case. Be responsible. There, that's the adult thing to say, right? Alright, where's signal 4? This one's 3, which is gonna throw me off. 4 is this one. 4 is way over here. You know, we're not gonna move, or I should say we're not gonna use that one. Okay, so I'll run this one backward. I just don't know how far it's going to go. Oh, I don't think I can Halo reach this. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't have to run it that way, because what I could do is... I don't think that will work. I think I'll have to utilize this. Alright, so... I'll need a repeater. Well, it doesn't have to be a repeater. It can be a... other thing. You're in the middle of cleaning your room, so they could be anywhere. I wish you good luck. Maybe I will use a repeater. I don't know. Anyways, if all of this is off, that means that's closed, which means the light is off, right? Is the light off or is it on? I wonder if I could test this right now, because everything's closed. There's no power, except right now that is currently saying that it's receiving full power. So what I need to do, not go that way. What I need to do is I need this signal to be inverted, which means I have to add or remove one torch from the current system. Trying to make stylized text. GIMP is awful with text. It is terrible with trying to make fancy text on there. I do not have any solutions for you other than duplicate the text, and you can make drop shadows that way if you slightly increase the size. So for this to work, I could put the stone there, so then that way with this disconnected, that's the torch, so I just have to send this signal to there, which I don't think should be that bad. Because if I just put that block, then boop boop. There we go. We're gonna test this real fast, because we're gonna hope I didn't ruin anything, and I also don't know if that's gonna reach. You found it, party potato. Yeah, hold on, let me verify that this even goes far enough. Which way does it come from? Oh wait, that block needs to be there. These are two separate signals. Oh boy. This is 15. Hold on then. When does this... Oh, this is the torch. 10. Yeah, that's fine. That'll be powered. If I did this correctly, the fourth one should work now. We're gonna find out. If being the keyword. So right now, it's currently off, except all those are still on because debugging purposes. So if I say power up 1, 2, 3. This last button press should turn that lamp on. 4. Ta-da! We are now at level 4 power. And so then I press this button, and we're back down to level 3. Yay! Alright, let me set that back to the beginning. Level 2, level 1. Okay, so now with that taken care of... Oh, there's no space! Because I already took up all of that right there. Oh, booey. Howdy, howdy, welcome back. Alright, so this one's level 4. Next I have to power level 3, which I'm really thinking just running straight down. The redstone is crazy, but that's okay because I can read it. I can read it now because I'm working on it, but I come back, you know, a year later, I'm gonna look at this and think, what did I do? Truth be told though, the concept is much simpler than the execution. I'm just not good at making redstone that looks clean. I make redstone that kind of just wobbles around, but because it works, I use it. I wonder, maybe I should move this over. Yeah, if all of this redstone was laid out very flat, it would make sense. It would look clean. The routing is where it comes from, for all the, why it looks so messy. And that's just because that's kind of how I do it. And so this one is 4. I need signal number 3. Signal number 3 is this one, so I have to get this wire next. I need to get that one to connect up here. And I wonder if I can... decisions. I don't want to mess with the timing of the output, because if I mess with the timing of the output, what that ends up doing is that throws off the thingy. But I've realized maybe I should move this over. That way I could just put a repeater backward. Anyways, back to plan A with how I was planning on doing this. So get rid of you. You too, Pikachu. A TTF file. A true type or a true text file. The literal font. No, wait, true type font. That's what it is, right? You need specialized programs to make font files. I've done one before, but I totally done goofed the spacing on there. It works enough when I use it in Unreal, but I gotta fix that by some point. Yeah, and you missed the part where he was talking about doing a graphic design for a logo for a project. Alright, so let me start laying down the torches. I need to get back up there though. Okay, I don't yet know if that one needs to be a torch or not, but whatever the output is, I can just replace that. This one's gonna end up being rather fast. Except, I wonder... Ow. I wonder if I can very easily just take care of this. Because this is the output, right? I need to make sure that that just goes straight up and not touch anything on its way up there. So all I really need to do is just put this down and put a repeater there. Put the dust, I can get rid of this block. So the question is, this signal is off, as it's supposed to be. The question now is, what is it like? Oh wait, hold on. Did I make a mistake? Is that repeater powering a block that it's not supposed to? Nope, there's no dust here. There's just the torch. Oh, wait, hold on. Nope, there's no redstone back there. This is safe. This is safe redstone. The wires don't talk. Buying 30 double chests worth of shulker boxes is not an activity I would ever do. Can you say hoarder? Alright, so right now the power signal's off. Oh wait, hold on. If we're on level 0, level 1, level 2. Oh no, are we on level 3 now? Because now we're on 4. 3, 2, 1. Now we're on 0. Just need to make sure I did this right. I'm just making sure. Okay, so now we're on level 1. Level 2. Level 3. Level 3 lights up. And then 4. This better be worth it in the end. I'm gonna keep pressing this button to make sure, though. Alright, so now 4 and 3 are done. Cool. Here comes the hard part. How do I get signal 2 to this torch with everything else right here? Can I steal space on this side? Oop. Because this one's 4. This one is 2. So can I... you know what? That is possible if I have that block be powered. So instead of putting the torch on top of a stone, I'll put the torch on the side. Let me just make sure that my math is correct and that level 2 is now off. One way I said before about making outlines, well, even though it works better for shadows than outlines, is if you copy the text, paste it behind the regular one, set it to black, and then make it slightly larger. So you're rendering the text twice, which is essentially what Minecraft did for its shadow on the F3 menu, and then eventually that was removed. But you're making an image. You don't have to worry about graphical computations. Alright, so I have torch number 2. This is in a better spot because there's a little more space over here. So I just have to get that torch powered. And I'm thinking we're going to steal space from down there. Because torch number 1 is this one. So if torch 1 comes from this way, Maybe. I don't know, but either way, if torch 1 uses this space, torch 2 will use this space. I don't know if y'all are good with spatial recognition. I consider myself up there, and so I'm just visualizing how much space all of this is going to end up needing. So this can work if done correctly. So I just need to make sure that I can't put any block above there, which means that's not going to work. Oh wait, no, that can work. No, that won't work because to power this, I would have to keep that separate. So we're going to have to keep the dust higher. Make sure that connects. All right, so now what I can do is probably bring the wire down, and then I can move it over. So that way that signal is totally separate. I just need to get it out of the central area and bring it over closer to where number 2 signal was. Sometimes you can make big progress on game or any software development. Sometimes you get stuck on something for days. Working on a project like this is not a linear pattern. All right, so next is, where is signal 2? Signal 2 is this top one. So I have to get this signal all the way over here to that one. What I'll probably do is take advantage of the space over here. So if I just slide this over without running into anything, I could build a staircase. I don't know if I'll have to negate this at some point, but for now I just gotta get the signal over. So now I just need to connect that down there with this one. And so the way to do that, I think I see how I can do this on a cheap level. No, wait, hold on, that's the wrong one. Because like I said, I need to make sure I do this without working on timing. Because at first I thought this was the repeater I was going to use, put a stone there, and then put dust underneath the block so that way it powers, but I realized that's not going to work. Because my next repeater's over there. You know what I could do? This is still below ground, so if I want, I could just put that torch there and then run the signal this way. Oh wait, that won't be exactly underground. I guess if I were to raise up the floor just a little bit, that should be fine. But yeah, if I just run this way. Or, you know, if I really wanted, I could drop it down one. So other than right about here, what I could do is have this work. Yeah, so what I could do is just run the signal one block above this. So this way, it's out of the way. So the next I just have to connect that to here. Oop. Let's see, can I do this without bumping into any other wires? Crosstalk is bad. That's why Ethernet cables, the higher up you go in category, the more insulation they have between each wire. And that does not quite make it. That's okay. So question is, do I need a torch? Because right now this signal is currently in the on position, which is opposite of that is. Well, that's okay. I can just... There's still plenty of space to add a torch, so I'm not going to worry about that yet. So we're currently... The lamp is currently off, which means with the lamp off, I need to not send a signal, which means I do have to power a torch, so I don't have to worry about a repeater. So over here, I'll put the torch. I'm not going to put the torch on the side of that block because that's just wasting space. I'll probably put it over here. And get rid of both of those. Put the torch there. That way this signal, I think, will reach now. Yeah, as long as this torch turns off, that's what I need. Alright, so let's turn that back on. Because right now, there's no power going through. So all of those are off, which means every one of these should be off. There's probably going to be a lot of people who download this world in the future, and they look at the redstone and think, nope. So right now, everything is off, as it should be. So then I press this button. We're now at power 1, except that lamp will always be on for now. Press it again for power 2. Press it again for level 3. Press it again for level 4. Hooray! It works. Now I just have to take care of the last one. That music contraption, I don't know if I'll ever do anything with it. I want to fix it, make it sound better. I don't think I ever will. Alright, so we're getting there, and so far we have not used much space over here. I say that's good. The last thing I have to do is get the signal from way down there, level 1. I have to get that signal from at level 1 all the way up top without running into anything. So thankfully, I can go as far back as over here because this is the output for the first cell. So all I really have to do is make sure that this is functioning. So wherever I can find a place to put a bunch of torches that aren't going to touch anything. I feel like the only places where torches aren't going to touch anything is right here. If I move that over. So what I could do is do that. The signal's still going to be the same strength. And then what I do is put a repeater there. So that way, if I stacked the torches here, that's not going to connect, but I realized I done goofed, because that's still a little too close to that one. I can do that by taking care of that. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm trying to visualize this. I could do that if I move this over, so then what this would do is overcomplicated. That's what it's doing. Because I can have these torches next to each other. I can also have the torches be stagnated. But to power that one, if I set that there, if that's a torch, to send the signal over, that would have to be a repeater. Which means... there is not much space here. I'm close to figuring it out. The solution is probably going to be simpler than what I'm trying to make it. Is what I really could do. This is one of those times where I kind of wish I had a 90-degree repeater, where I could just have this one go forward and then over. Because then I could just put a block there. with the torch. And so to power that, what I could do is place that there. Get rid of both of these, those are extra. Alright, so then what I would do, put that block there, put that block there. That way now this is totally isolated. There we go. So now I can keep going up from here. So now we're starting to steal a little more of the space from this floor. Because ideally everything would fit below the grass level and to the right of the wall, but that's not realistic for what I'm trying to do. So this way, this one is up far enough where I do not need to worry about the signal down there. So replace that one with just a regular redstone. Does not need to be a repeater since it's going straight forward. Where does the signal belong? That one. So to get the signal here, I can have that stone be there if I had a repeater on top. But the problem is the grass. I'd have to probably bump up the grass a little bit. Otherwise, I could definitely overcomplicate this and run the signal towards the front. So if I had, that's not gonna power it, right? Nope, that is safe. That's not safe though. Ah, so close because that's gonna run into the floor. Would this be safe if I had a repeater though? Is there a torch on this side? Nope, there's no torch on this side, which means that is safe if that's a repeater. Yeah, because nothing's gonna power the block. Alright, so now I bring this around town, off into this direction. So now I just have to connect that one with this one. So what I'll probably do, do I want them to be right next to each other? Probably not. I guess I'll just do it like this. This redstone looks like how your brain works. Does that mean complicated? I really don't have any arguments saying the redstone's not that bad, because I will say this is terrible. This is so messy. And I'm not talking about the soccer player. So I can run this one more block forward, should I choose to do so. And now it has to slide this way. So the question is, where's the nearest torch? The nearest torch is there, so I'll need to count 15 blocks, put a repeater. Hold on. I need to reach that stone. I don't need it, but I want it. There we go. I feel better. Oh, wait, hold on. The power level is completely off, which means... Alright, where's this gonna run out? Hold up. So I have one torch here. So it looks like it's gonna run out somewhere back there. So I'll put the repeater... If I did the math right there. You know, at that point, I don't even think that needs to be another repeater. Nope, that has to be a repeater, or else it will connect. You know what? No, hold on. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be a repeater if I put a block above the redstone. I'm trying to minimize the amount of repeaters to increase the speed. So yeah, what I could do is I could put dust there, but put that block above. Now, it's not going to connect. Alright, cool. We're going to see if I did the math right. In fact, I could test if I did the math right by getting rid of that torch temporarily. Yep, the repeater turns on, the signal goes through, now we're all good. Alright, so let's take a quick peek over here. All of these are closed. That means no power. No power's going through. We're also going to sleep real fast, reset the weather timer. Oh, it's almost day anyway. Why does that say 1? I'll need to invert the signal. I guess the repeater's going to be redundant. There we go. I don't need the repeater there if I just put another torch. Don't worry, I'm about to give the demonstration. I'm in the last moments now. I just need to fix one little thing. Because I need... What I'll probably do is instead of having the repeater there, I'll just put another torch. This will negate the signal. There we go. So now the lamp turns off when it's supposed to. Alright, so everything, as I just showed, all the pistons outside are currently closed. There's no power going through. I can get rid of that real fast. So then I press the power up button. Boop! Now we have level 1. We currently have one of the gates open, and the lamp inside signals. So if we go way over here, ta-da, we now have one of the pistons open. And so let me head on back. And so, say I want more power, I click this button, and poof. Now the meter here shows that we are at level 2. We are now at the level 2 power output. Click it again, we go to 3, and then one final time. Now we are at power level 4, so if we head back here, let's not fall off. If we head back in here, everything is now open, allowing all the water to flow through, creating hydroelectric power, or however the proper terminology would be. And so, ta-da! The system now functions as intended. And I'd be really sad if a creeper destroyed the redstone after all the time I've spent on here, creating this absolute monstrosity. But everything now works, therefore, I sit here like a happy camper because the power meter was not as complicated. I should say it was more complicated than what it needed to be. But that's just because I had to figure out everything to begin with. So, with that taken care of, now I can do whatever I want up front here, and I'm still not all too sure what it is. If you're talking about happy guests for the third time or so, I'm going to say the same thing, which was, that's a problem for future me. Alright, so the floor could almost be entirely filled in at the original level, because I could fill this in. The only problem is I've got the one redstone there. Oh no, I got 2 because this has to be open. That signal has to go through. I'm out of dirt. Let's go get more dirt. So this can mostly be filled in. I don't know what I'm going to put right here, but I'll figure that out later. I wonder, would this fit? It'd be cool if I can only fill it, or only have something sticking out in this area. But I'm looking over here and I'm thinking, I wonder if I can move this staircase over. I want to keep it as a vertical wall and have some sort of structure. Yeah, one thing at a time. Let me grab more dirt. I need something to walk on. Yeah, in beta 1.2, the best you're gonna get are redstone locked doors and no block songs. Beta 1.3 is a minor improvement because you get repeaters. Redstone doesn't become fun until beta 1.7 though, because you can do stuff with pistons. Alright, so this can be filled in up until there. This can be mostly filled in. What I might do... No, I don't know, I might just have to deal with that. So looking at this, it's an improvement. Oh wait, hold on, I can fill all this in real fast. So then, let me grab stone. Oh wait, I need more. Because what I can do is, this wall can go back to how it was originally. This can be brought down. We're gonna make this to dirt all the way. And so, most of this can be filled in with stone. The only problem is... Oh wait, you know what, hold on. This can go all the way. Oh, not quite, because it only goes up to here. I could just use or I should say just fill it up with cobblestone. Just put a little wall that goes all the way around here. A pointless beat machine and a doorbell. That's about as good as you're gonna get without doing logical computation with such basic redstone. Oh wait, one more. If you want to try your hand at a locked door, make like a vault. Not with pistons, of course, for the door, but you have to use the regular iron door for that. Yeah, otherwise, I'm not good with ideas for redstone that early. What do you have to sell? Nothing that's gonna be of use to me. Grab more cobblestone. Oh, in fact, hold on, maybe I'll grab more of the smooth stone as well. Thankfully, I didn't run out of redstone, but we are very close. Alrighty, so what I'm thinking of doing... How do I wish to handle this? I'll just start here, build a good old-fashioned cobblestone line. Nope, buddy, I'm building here. Beep beep. And then we'll just construct this a little bit higher. Then I'll cap it off with cobblestone as well on top. I'm probably gonna have to redo the lighting, but that'll be fine. Why would I impulsively kill wandering traders? They're chill. Back to here. What if I made the roof this side? Oh wait, hold up. Yeah, if I made this the roof, I get rid of one layer all the way around. Oh, you know what I need to do though? I need to figure out how to get lights up here. They're annoying, terrible trades, and free leads. And who's buzzing me? Not important. I don't find them annoying, I just let them hang around. Eventually they go away. I don't need the leads that badly, I have 54 right now. I don't yet know how I'll handle the lighting on top of here, but that's okay, I'll deal with that later. If I really wanted, I could just plop down torches. Otherwise, I'll need some way... Oh, that doesn't look that bad. It looks like a... Kinda looks like an Oreo. An Oreo cookie. With the dark on top and the light in the middle. I don't know what they've been doing with trades. I don't use them enough. I don't play enough modern Minecraft. I should say I don't play enough versions where wandering traders are around in survival. Alright, how are we looking on brightness in here? Oh, you know what I never did? I never finished the roof. This building still doesn't have a roof, and that's because I have all these extra lamps to make sure it's nice and bright up top. So we are gonna take care of that. So what I'm thinking of doing is probably coming back here with some of those smooth stone slabs. I feel like I want smooth stone for the roof. We're also got to figure out the lighting for that, but that can wait. Maybe that's what I'll need extra space for. No, because there's no other lever in here. I need some place to put a lever to control the lights. These lights, the lights for the roof, and then the lights over here. All right, let's go. Let's go home. You know what? Here, we'll be smart about this. We'll sleep and then we'll go home. When the eyes turn red, you can go to bed. Except there's a giant warehouse in the way. There we go, now we can sleep. Huzzah! Surely the lighting in the roof won't be so bad. We'll figure it out when we get there. I don't know how much of that redstone I'm going to end up covering. I'm really thinking of just letting it sit there on the roof. But one thing at a time. The Zella moon has indeed risen. Well, it's not risen anymore, it's gone back down. But that's okay. It'll be back again in another 9 minutes or so. Alright, where are the goods I'm looking for? I have exactly one smooth stone slab. Where are all my other smooth stone slabs? Did I really not have them? In fact, while I'm here, I'm probably going to toss some of these. I don't think I'll need this many slabs, and then I'll just leave another stack of the block itself. Alright, away we go, as I run out of redstone dust, and think to myself, time to mine more ore with my Fortune 3 pickaxe. I don't see this little hole I dug. And every once in a while I almost fall in. Because I don't see it when I'm coming over the hill, because I have to be right around here before I start seeing it. So if I'm any distance this way, I don't think about it. You know what I should do? I should build a cover for that. That is a void hole. That is a non-OSHA compliant bottomless pit. That needs to be corrected. I'll probably just put a couple fences. In fact, maybe I'll put some fences stacked vertically with a little cover on the roof. That'll make it visible from any distance. That's not true, not any distance, but make it much farther. You utilize the beta 1.2 Steves to build the structure for you. Did you ever end up completing it? I don't want to put planks over it. I'd use planks in the covering. Alright, so we needed slabs. Like, that's kind of funny. It's almost like the inverse. Alright, I'll deal with the lighting there first. Or sorry, I'll deal with the lighting there later. So I want to take care of all of this. 10 years isn't even long enough anymore. Because 10 years ago, 2015, There's only been one terrain generator before 1.18. That's not very fun. Alright, so I'll probably start with covering all of this in slabs to begin with, and then strategically place lamps from there. Oh, that does not line up exactly. Maybe I will fill in that cobblestone. I think it should be safe. Oh, you know what? I don't even need to fill it all in. I could just put one cobblestone there, call it a day. There we go. One 1.16 is a different nether generator. The overworld is still the same. Time to go into details and all that stuff. Thankfully, I don't have to anymore. I can just tell people watch the video. And then relax as I realize, there's still enough content to make a follow-up to that. But that's when stuff gets very complicated. Looking at you, InDev. Alright, so the best place to put down lamps, not at the edges, probably 2 blocks from each of the edges. Oh, what? At this point, I might as well just make a strip in the middle. In fact, here, why don't I do it like this? 3 lamps. Oh, wait, is this gonna add up well? 1, 2, 2, 2. That does not add up. Hold up. I still don't know what they're selling over there. I haven't figured that out yet since I am procrastinating on building shelves, because those are not going to be fun. Decisions. I could make it like 2 blocks wide, 3 blocks in the middle, and then 2 blocks wide again. This will be the lamps for this main area. I'll figure out something for over here, because I still need to make sure that this is nice and bright, but that's not going to be as important, because that's all hidden in the back. So I could do this. Oh, that's not 3 in the middle, that's 4. As long as these lamps have power, I'll be fine. The question is, where is that coming from? Here's the question. Where do I build the AND gate to make sure that those lamps have power? Only if there is power. A power of greater than 1. You know what that means? I'm gonna have to build another area that pops out. Unless if I steal space back here. Question is, how much more space do I even have? Because I need to make sure that my number 1 signal somehow reaches the roof in any capacity. Oop, this is not good. In fact, you know what? We could probably just get rid of this dirt. I already built the shell, so I can get rid of all this. Oop, I'm all good. At first I thought I entered an area where I wasn't able to jump out of, because I built the redstone in such a way that it created a hole greater than 2 blocks. Thankfully, that was not the case. Alright, so I'm looking around here, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the number 1 signal to the roof. What I really could do is just have it poke out. Just have it be like this little antenna sticking out on the side. Because I don't really want it popping out of here. I feel that might be odd. So if I were to have it poking out anywhere, it'd have to be over here. Would I torture myself? What do you consider torturing myself? Because I'm having fun. I have fun solving puzzles. Puzzles are great. This is just one big puzzle. This is not torture. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, so the number 1 signal, I think, is this one. We're gonna hope. In fact, here, I can verify if I go back down here. Nope, that's the number 2 signal. Where does number 1 come from? Because this one is 1. This one goes straight up. It does not go straight up. It goes up to there. Yeah, there's a wandering trader around. I already was looking at him earlier. Nothing worth buying. Oh, wait, this isn't level 1. Or sorry, this isn't level 2. This is level 1. I was right. Okay, so I just have to pull this signal and send it straight up. That'll be easy because I think I know how I'm going to do it. Oh, wait, the wall's right here. I have an idea. I'll put... Oh, wait, hold on. No, I'm going to have to drop this by a block. Hold up. I don't need, but I don't want the torch being right at the corner. So what I'm going to do is... Where was I building? Right there. So I can get rid of those blocks. And go from here. This will be easy. When did I say this will be easy? Because I'm sure I said it, and those are indeed. At some point while I was working on this. Like a minute ago? Alright, so here's what I need to do. I need to get rid of that temporarily, because I need to know which block, and we're just going to have this line of antennas. Oh, you know what that means? We're going to have to put the AND gate on the roof. That's okay. That'll add heights to the building, because flat roofs are boring. Or something like that. I don't know. Said some architect. It's definitely quite dark in here without any skylight access. But yeah, I'm just thinking it'll be part of the design to just have... Wait, I need that. Be part of the design to just straight up have the torches go up right here. And so that way it's just gonna hang around. Well, that still means I have to connect that wire with another one. And I've realized building this out of slabs is not very beneficial because I can't run redstone dust on top of slabs on the lower half. I'll figure that out later. So, with this signal, I'll put it... I'm going to cover that up. I'll probably run it this way. Where's the line where the wall is? I think that's this one, right? So these do not have to be slabs. Hello, lamp. How's it going? Oh, wait, but I can't touch that lamp. It has to be independent. I don't want to power it. Decisions. Where's all my redstone? There it is. Alright, so let's figure this out. So I just need to make sure that I bring the two signals together. The question is, what other signal? Howdy Koski, welcome back. You know what I think I can do? We're gonna try this out real fast. I have a estimation as to what's gonna happen. We're gonna see if it really unfolds. 30 stacks of dye? Well, you said it's 30 double chests, right? I can't do fast math to know what 30 double chests is equivalent to, but I know it's a lot. You know, I'll keep these going. Alright, so let me just run this wire across the top real fast. Because I'm gonna test something. So if I layer that, as you can see, only the only the middle one gets activated because this is a full block. Even though the redstone is going across the top, it will not interact with here because this is not a full block. I have to turn the slab full. So therefore, I could take that to my advantage and then put a slab on the top half above that one lamp. And then I won't have a problem. For ice cream to be in Minecraft, you know, what else would we need? We already have milk. We need chocolate. Nope, we have cocoa beans. We need a way to freeze something. We don't have any freezers. Alright, so I could leave this like this. And then... oh, that almost would have worked. What I can do... let's grab more stone. So if I have that like that, I could have my one torch. Decisions as I try to figure this out. Because if I've got my one torch, I'll just need another one here. Shulkers don't stack to 54 shulkers per double chest. You chose a project this large. If you worked on something this large, I feel like you forfeit the right to complain. Snow? I have to go up to the mountains for that. I've never made ice cream that I remember. I'm trying to think. Because I feel like this in reality needs to be one block taller. Oh, in fact, I know how to make it one block taller. I have that signal there, right? So I need to make sure that this one, if I were to do something like that. Oh wait, no, this is on, which means I'd still have to invert it. That's okay. Then that means, where's a lever? Because I need a lever for the lamp. I don't even know if I have any over here. Did I put them all away? Sad times, how dare I? Alright, while we're here, I'm just gonna grab these ores and probably more of the dirt, and we're gonna take this home, because I don't need it here. Alright, let's go grab some levers. I'll probably start out with 2, maybe. Snow, milk, sugar, and any flavor. Minecraft doesn't have a lot of flavors. It has chocolate, but there's no vanilla, there's no strawberry. There's no cotton candy, because I very much like cotton candy flavored ice cream. That is my #1 favorite, even though I will say I haven't had it in a while. Rite Aid. Rite Aid ice cream. So very good. Y'all don't know what a Rite Aid is. It's a little everything store. Stater Brothers is like grocery stores. Rite Aid is a little more focused on goods than food. We do not need beavers. You know, that's not entirely true. Beavers in Minecraft, maybe one day. Oh wait, hold on here. Let me be smart about this. Free up the inventory slots first. Where would we find moose in Minecraft? What biomes or which locations would they be most prominent in? That's what you're working on? You're have fun. Alright, 2 people vote Taiga, there we go. Alright, what else can I toss? Probably more of these slabs. I don't need this many. Hopefully. TNT flavored ice cream? I can't remember the last time I've been to McDonald's. Oh, I had a stack of levers sitting right here. No one told me that I already had levers in my inventory. Alright, what are we at? Hour and a half. Has it really been that long? And all I've done is a bunch of redstone? That's okay. I hope we're gonna do it, or I should say, I hope we're gonna finish up in the next half hour. So look, there we go. Everyone's voting Taiga. So that means if Mojang were to ever bring Moose around, that would make most sense based on community poll. Don't know how well viewer community counts towards average Minecraft community. I have the redstone right. Yep. Alright, cool. Yeah, CVS is closer to what the type of store is, or Walgreens as well. We don't need more animals, we need current ones to be more polished. Well, they're working on that with the cow, sheep, and pig variations. So that's a step in your direction. Alright, so where do I put the levers? Because it's currently feeling like just building a wall back here. Let's be smart about that. Because it really comes down to, if I need the signals to go up, why don't I do them around here? Alright, so I'm looking at... How many levers do I even want? You know, if I really wanted, I wonder if I could do like a forced shutdown thing. I don't know. Well, either way, I want one lever for the building lights, one lever for the dam lights, those over there, that little strip. I guess that's really only 2. I don't plan on having any other lights here. All of this is one connected area. Alright, so... Boop. I probably have a local ice cream shop, but Stater Brothers is closer, and so that's generally where we get our ice cream. ZZZ all the way home. Alright, so I'm looking at just going from here. It's this one, and then what I say, 2 blocks. Do goats have any uses other than the goat horns? So yeah, 1, 2, lever. In fact, here, I'll be smart, flip these down. Alright, cool, I did that right. Bats will, I won't say they'll never be useful. Mojang, I thought, never wanted them to be useful. Oh, you know what, here, we'll keep that there. Thought Mojang intentionally made them to be ambient only. Oh no, I still have to run the signal up because it has to accept the AND gate output. I thought they only changed their design, not changed anything else about them. That makes bats the same purpose they had before. This is the part where you go, what purpose? So therefore I can bring this over, right? Maybe. No, I think this needs to be off. This is a very wide AND gate. That's okay. When did I switch to fortune? Oops, I guess I'll take the cobblestone. I don't think that's connected. Yeah, that is irrelevant of whatever that's receiving. There we go. Alright, so let's take a quick peek. How is this currently looking? So when I flip this lever, because right now this is in the on position. So if I turn that lever off, why does that still register as on? Did I done goof somewhere? I did. I know what went wrong. Put the torch there. Put that. There we go. Why would we use bats for witch farms? Oh, you know what I did? Hold up. Which one's currently off? I think I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong one. Oops. Doink. Alright, so put that torch there. What in particular about witch loot would make them beneficial to be farmable? And there we go. So now that signal is off, if I turn that on, now the torch is on. However, if I decrease the power, so now if I head up top here, that lamp is now turned back on, therefore this is off either way, regardless of whatever this lever does. Alright, so now, if I set this back to level 1, there we go. So now if I set that back to level 1, still off until I make sure, boop, flip that lever, which is now back on. There we go. Okay, so I finished the first one. Rather basic. That can, oh, that does not connect. That's okay. Now this will connect. So then I'll just do the same thing over here. Why is that connecting? Hold on. I don't know if that's just a visual or if that was counted, but we're gonna ignore that. There we go. So now, as long as we have some power output, okay, well that turns on based on the lever, unless we don't have any power. Because if we don't have any power, then it turns off. I feel better now. Alright, cool. Cool. So there's the first one. But yeah, I still need to make sure that I take this signal, or a signal from this torch, independent of that one. Alright, so what I'll do is contemplate where to put the next AND gate. Because I'll need to get the wire over there somehow. I'm probably thinking of running it underground. Like, just below the surface around here. Which means what I might be able to do is build the AND gate somewhere around here. If there's space, of course. So if I build the AND gate somewhere around here, what's the point of all this? In the end, I have a streamlined but messy way of controlling lights in a semi-realistic way. Gunpowder, redstone, glowstone, stick, sugar, spider eyes, fire resistant, water breathing, speed and healing potions. Is there no better way to acquire any of that? But why? I wanted a way to control the lights. Alright, I'm thinking... Well, you can only not break minecarts in instead of 618. You can break them in 624, but don't play 624, play 625-1. Don't play 625-2. Alright, so what I'm currently imagining over here is, what if I had a row of redstone? So if I kept that like this, I'm going to put a torch underneath all of these, which means to do so, this is where my line of cobblestone is going to be. This is not cobblestone, this is stone. But this is where my line of stone is going to be, so I'll have a signal. Nope, hold on. You know what, maybe I will just put the torch up here. I still need that down there, but we're going to put the torches on top, because that way I'll just have repeaters go straight through. Well, I was close when I said we were going to finish today. We're not going to get to the power station, but we'll at least be nearly done with this. At one point, are you playing Minecraft compared to at what point the game just plays itself? What I feel like, this was a video essay or analysis video, something like that. Someone was doing a video of like, if everything's automated, how much Minecraft is there actually being played? The reservoir is not going to be deeper. It's low enough. That way, the parts where the water comes out are close enough to the bottom. Because what's the point of storing water below the area where it can be funneled out of? The whole point of the dam is to control water flow. That's where the power comes from. And so if you have water that can't flow, you can't generate electricity from still water. Thankfully, I don't have to figure out how to build giant turbines in Minecraft, since that's completely irrelevant. But I ran out of torches, so we're coming back here for that. Gonna grab another stack. In fact, here, I might as well grab 2, because chances are I'm gonna end up needing them. Oh, is it already turning nighttime? We'll probably sleep once we get back over there. Water won't flow? If the water level is below the output area, it's not gonna flow. I need water above the output line. The nozzle, the tube, the place where delta P happens. Oh, Zella Moon has risen. I think it's the largest one. This should be a full moon. Are you ever going to complete Minecraft, though? Minecraft is incompletable so long as it has updates. So ignoring personal goals and whatnot, there will hit a point where every feature is being utilized. Before, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, uses before. Alright, so now let me just run this all through. Alright, and then I need to make sure that this stays covered. Automating to make things easier is more understandable because you have a purpose for that, other than just to persist. I'd rather have thin pancakes. I don't know. I like light, fluffy waffles, but I'd rather pancakes be thin. Once you have thick pancakes, they're a little too doughy. I've not had good pancakes that are super thick. Alright, so with all this, I'll probably just line this with cobblestone. I haven't had pancakes in a while. Well, let me just put this here. I generally don't have crepes because I don't know. Alright, I think we're all set. I don't know what I'll do about the covering. I'll probably just leave this as is. You know what I could do if I wanted? I could just cover this with even more cobblestone. Oh, in fact, if I cover that with cobblestone, I can get rid of most of this. Pancakes and crepes are not the same, as they are not designed the same. Chocolate chip pancakes are amazing. I haven't had them in such a long time, but those are great. I usually have them with standard syrup and whipped cream. I hope you don't make them soon, because I cannot guarantee I'll be able to have some soon. One day, perhaps. Okay, no, that needs to be there. I'll just need to remember that there's a torch. Ta-da! Happy little line, Bob Ross would say. Okay, so now I just have to connect the other lever to that. So it is way off in this area that I'm going to take the two different signals. So this one doesn't even need to go up. I can say goodbye to you, because I just need to make sure that the signal goes down. But unfortunately, I can't send a signal down without making a staircase. So I can do that, but then here, let me just grab the stone. So then this signal, oh, you know what? Here's what I can do with this. Move that over, and then that way, there's my AND gate. Okay, so now I just have to get the signal. Oh, you know what? Hold on. It's right there. I just have to pull this one. Hold on, let me make sure. Huzzah! Oh, that's what you mean by American thick pancakes. Yeah, I see now. Alright, so the question is, does that need to be on or off? I need to make sure that and this are on. What is that signal? That signal is currently on. Okay, so if that one's on, then yeah, I could treat this normally, don't need to invert it. Alright, so that can move forward. That probably just blocked off a path, but oops. Oh no! Hold up. Let's... Oh, you know what? Hold on, I have an idea. Oh, never mind. I no longer have an idea. Whoop, I almost jumped. I do not know what wall stone you're referring to and whether or not that is currently applicable. I feel like I would have to see it, and then I would understand. Gonna get rid of you. And then bring that over. Alright, so I guess we're gonna have a little bit of stone. Oh wait, you know, hold on. We do not need stone there. I'll just keep it like that. So now, other than this little area, I can just keep this as is. If you're saying the one stone I dropped and it's like down there, I will be getting it. Probably. No, maybe I should have left that there. Nah, I'll keep the redstone visible, I guess. I'll do something. But yeah, I didn't need to see a drop. I picked one up, but I feel like there was two down here. There it is. Aha! Alright, let's see if I can... Yeah, I did block off that point, but that's okay. I'll let it sit there. So I'll figure out some sort of casing, potentially, if I'm feeling it. But otherwise, all of that is done. I don't need any more logic gates, because now all I have to do is just take that output signal and then run it that way, which should be rather easy to do. There's me using that scary term again. Alright, so I can build the tunnel underneath this one. All the way up until this point. In fact, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll make this 3 blocks tall for now. Wait, can I? That is indeed not a repeater, so yeah, we'll just go this way. Right here, let me just move that over real fast. Not that far. I'll only run it to here. Ah, invisible blocks? I thought that was fixed. I didn't have any of that problem up until just here. I don't know what you're talking about with the hand in 618. You'd have to describe what occurs. Because chances are it's just the same thing as what I would expect, where it's pulling the model of your hand from your third-person model. In which case, when you walk around, it moves. Yeah, if you open up your inventory and walk around, you'll see your hand flailing. Alright, so let me turn that off real fast. Uh-oh. Oh no, is it way down there? Oh no, it's just right here. Okay, I'll be back and fix that later. In fact, hold on, let me make this a staircase real fast. Alright, so signal, how far do you have to go? Oh wait, hold on, I am doing this right? Let me make sure that both of these torches are in the same position. Both of them are down, which means power, because up means no power. So yeah, if I turn that off, why is this still on? Maybe I need a torch there. This might need to be inverted. Oh, in fact, hold on. Let me do it like this. They're not fixed. It's that times. Okay, so I will indeed have to flip this. Simple solution. The simple solution is doing something with this. Because I want a torch here. But to have a torch there is gonna have to move. So I can do that. Oh, I cannot do that because that's not repeater friendly. Sorry, torch, you will indeed have to move. Oh, I picked it up. Cool. Because if I put that there, Then I could put the repeater here, keep that going straight. So then that way this one gets placed there. There we go. Okay, so now that is indeed working as intended. So let me get rid of this real fast. Set that down, grab the stuff that's fallen, and contemplate that I'm sitting here at 5 dust. Oh no. I'll have to mine more of the ore. Alright, so now that this is functioning as intended, there we go. I could not just flip the output, and the reason why I couldn't flip the output is I had to make sure that the input is sending the correct signal. So now this looks ever so slightly cleaner because all of that's currently taken care of. You have about 4 minutes until you can start saying final thoughts. I'll get more redstone eventually, but I'm currently sitting on enough ore for now. Alright, speaking of that ore, let's go get some. You know what, we'll do it in the morning. ZZZ, all the way home. I don't need more uses for redstone. You know, that's not entirely true. I feel like this is going to be my last redstone thing for a while. Mainly because this did indeed take a massive amount of it. I can't believe I've burned through so many stacks of ore recently. The amount of redstone I placed down in the warehouse, in the Zelenate kill, plus the amount of redstone I've placed down for all of this is super expensive. Just build a pillar, but every time I fall, it goes slower because you mine block slower when you're not standing on something solid. Therefore, that is slower. Hold up. That is slower than this because I'm standing blocks the whole time when digging vertically. Or sorry, when digging horizontally. Every time you fall off the block you were standing on, you mine slower. There we go. Oh, this redstone should at least last me a little bit. If I make a... Wait, make a pillar from redstone blocks? I don't have the redstone blocks to begin with. I'm probably not going to make any redstone blocks after this. Unless that's not a question for me. This is still playing beta 1.2, in which that's why there's so much redstone stockpiled. There we go. So now all I have to do is make this look just a little bit nicer. So I don't know what I'll do there, but I could start the dirt at least there. Truth be told, if I had trapdoors, I would have made this only one block beneath the surface, but seeing as I don't have trapdoors. Oh, the thought for redstone being unused. I don't have any redstone currently being unused, though. All the redstone I have, at least accessible, is currently sitting in my inventory. There we go. What do I have? About a minute left. And so, is it really off right now? Alright, hold on. I do have to flip the signal. Alright, so, simple fix, simple fix. I've probably said that more times than what is actually simple, but that's okay. It's okay because I say it's okay. So I can turn this... Oops. No, keep that. So I can put a dust there. And then I could put a repeater down here. What that repeater will do will power that block with the torch on it, and then the torch will power that block. Therefore, that's all hidden. And why is only the first one off? Oh, because that's not a repeater. I just have to move this over by one. So that absolutely had to be a repeater to send the signal straight through. So then I could have that dust there with the dirt, with the torch sitting on top of that, with the repeater there, and now we're good. Which means the last step is just cover that pretty much. Oh wait, hold on, I don't need this one. I guess I could cover this as well. Oh wait, that means I can get rid of that. Hooray! Alright, cool. Consistency. Alright, yeah, say your final thoughts now, as we are indeed all done for the day. And so I'm looking at that, and I think we're all done. So I flip that, lights turn on. If we don't have enough power, the lights in here turn off, eventually. And then the lights over there turn off as well. So hooray, I did it! The entire hydropower plant, or whatever I'm going to end up calling it, is finally completed, with all 4 light levels functioning as intended. And so, next time, oh, there you go. Next time, I get to focus on building the power distribution plant. This generates the electricity. Where does it go? Has to go to the distribution location. But yeah, that's indeed all it for today. Thank you all for watching. Bye.